Hello queens. I'm back with another client tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how I created another fall glam beat, and we're just going to jump straight into this video. I'm starting this tutorial off by cleaning my client's face. Now that her face is clean, I'm going to go ahead and start on her eyebrows, and to do so I'm using my LA Colors dark brown eyebrow pencil. I'm using this pencil to outline both of her brows first, and then once I have them both outlined, I'm going to start filling them in at the tail and working my way to the front. You're going to notice as I outline the eyebrows, I only extended the bottom of her brows just because I didn't want the top to have a harsh line. It may look a little odd on camera, but once I start filling them in, it'll all blend together. Now that both brows have been outlined, it's time to start filling them in. So I'm starting at the tail and working my way to the front, and I'm going to make sure I brush through the eyebrows as I go. I'm only going to be taking this dark brown pencil halfway through her brows. Then for the front, I'm going in with the light brown pencil, and as you can see, I'm making hair-like strokes so that it can all blend in with the back of her eyebrows. Before I clean up her eyebrows, I'm going to be going in with this Eye Envy clear eyelash glue, and I'm brushing this through her eyebrows to mold the hairs down in place. This is like using an eyebrow gel, except it's a little stronger in my opinion, but it comes off with soap and water, so you don't have to be scared about anything, and a little goes a very long way. As you can see, I'm going over the eyebrows with the spoolie end of my pencil, and I'm just pressing them all in place. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going in with my e.l.f. concealers. This is the matte and the hydrating one, and they are in the shades Medium Sand and Deep Chestnut. First, I'm taking the shade Medium Sand because it's lighter, and I'm using this to clean up underneath her arch. Once I've cleaned up underneath her arch, I'm going to go ahead and blend that concealer out. Then for the remainder of the way on the top and the bottom of her eyebrows, I'm just going to be going in with the shade Deep Chestnut. Now that this brow has been cleaned up, I'm going to go ahead and buff those concealers out, and then I'm going to continue to follow the same process on the other side. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going to be going in with my Bperfect eyeshadow primer, and I went ahead and applied it all over her lids. Now I'm just going in with this dense eyeshadow brush, and I'm using it to buff out this product. To start off this look, I'm taking my Saharan II palette by Juvias Place, and I'm going to be going in with the shade Taza as a transition color. So I'm taking it on a blending brush, and I'm packing it on the outer edge of her eye first, and then I'm going to start bringing it in towards the front of her eyebrow. Next, I'm going in with the shade Fizz, which is this reddish brown, and I'm taking this on a dense eyeshadow brush, and I'm just packing this in her crease. And you're going to see me alternate between this brush and my blending brush just to blend this color out into the first shade that we used. And working with this shade, you want to tap it on with the dense eyeshadow brush first just to build up the pigmentation. Then once you feel like you have the color to where you would like it to be, you can go in with the blending brush. And when I use my blending brush, I just use windshield wiper motions because I want the edges to be as blended out as possible. For all of my new subscribers watching, if you're interested in any of these brushes that I'm using, I have already uploaded a video going over all these. I will have it linked in the description box down below. Once you're finished applying the eyeshadows, they should look something like this. Now I'm going in with my e.l.f. concealer, and I'm packing this in the inner corner of her eye, and then I'm bringing it halfway out to her lids. It's important that you only bring it out halfway. We're going to be applying eyeshadows to the outer edge of her eye, which is why you don't have to go over it with concealer, but if you bring it all the way out, it's fine. But for the inner corners of her eyes, we're going to be going in with pigments first. So I'm taking this white gold pigment from P.Louise, and then this bright white pigment from AshleyLeeCosmetics. First, I'm going in with the white one, and it's in the shade Silver Milky Way. And I'm just packing this on the areas that we applied the concealer. Now I'm going in with the white gold pigment from P.Louise, and I'm just packing it on top of the first pigment that we used. I did not go in with any type of adhesives or anything like that. I just applied the pigments right on top of the concealer. Going back in with the shade Taza from the Juvias Place Saharan palette, and I'm using this to blend out the edge of her eye. First, I'm taking it on this blending brush, then I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and just pack it on. Now I'm taking the shade Fez, which was that dark brown shade, and I'm just reapplying it to her crease. I'm lining her eyes using a black gel liner. This one is from the beauty supply store, and it's in the brand S.H.E. I'm taking it on a small angle brush and just applying it to her lash line. I decided that I wanted to do a kind of blown out wing, so I'm going to apply it with this brush first. Then I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to blend it out using some black eyeshadow. Creating this liner, I wanted the end of the wing to be more blended than the start of the liner, so I only blended out the wing and I kept the inside pretty neat. Now we're moving on to her face, so I'm going in and I'm cleaning off her face with some witch hazel before I go in with the foundation. Now I'm going in with some Pond's moisturizer on my sponge, and I'm just pressing this all over her face. To prime her face, I'm going in with my calamine lotion, and I'm just focusing this in her T-zone, and then I'm going to go back in with my sponge and use it to press all of this into her skin. For her foundations, I'm going in with these two Maybelline foundations in the shades Warm Coconut and Toffee Caramel. First, I'm taking the shade Warm Coconut because it's darker, and I'm applying this on the outer edge of her face. Now I'm taking the shade Toffee Caramel, and I'm working this on the inner portions of her face. And I'm going to blend these two shades together using this dense foundation brush. To highlight her face, I'm using my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer, and this one is in the shade Medium Sand, and I went ahead and mixed it with a little bit of her lighter foundation as well. Now I'm just applying the combination to her face. To blend out this concealer, I'm going in with the same brush that I used to blend out her foundation, and I'm just tapping everything in place. If you feel like you've used too much concealer or your brush is making streaks in the makeup, just go in with a sponge like how I'm doing now and just lightly tap everything in place, and it'll take away any type of lines that you may see. To contour her face, I'm going in with my Juvias Place foundation stick, and this one is in the shade Sokoto. And now I'm going back in with that foundation brush, and I'm just using it to blend this shade out. Now I'm going back in with my Real Technique sponge, and I'm using it to blend out the concealer under her eyes. To set the concealer in place, I'm going in with my Fit Me pressed powder along with my Morphe loose powder in the shades Golden Dore and Banana. First, I'm taking my Fit Me powder, and it's in the shade Golden Dore, and I'm just pressing this into the areas where we highlighted using my Real Technique sponge. If y'all haven't caught on to this powder yet, y'all need to catch on, because I mention these powders in my video every week, and no, it is not sponsored. I wish it was, like, Fit Me, get at me, but y'all need to step on it, okay? These powders are very affordable, and as y'all can see, they really set the face in place and give it a nice smooth finish. So I recommend everybody go cop you some. Now I'm going in with that Morphe loose powder, and I'm just applying it directly on top of the Fit Me powder. I like to do this to further set the face in place, okay, just to add a layer of security. You really don't have to do this, but it's just something I like to do to ensure that the makeup will last all day. To set the contoured areas of her face, I'm going in with another Fit Me pressed powder, and this one is in the shade Mocha. I'm taking the orange blush from my Juvias Place Saharan blush palette, and I'm just applying this to the apples of her cheeks to warm them up a little bit. taking the same black gel liner that I applied to her eyes, and I'm just taking it on a Q-tip and applying it to her waterline, and I'm only going to be running this halfway through. Y'all see how this is giving that nice cat eye effect? That is exactly what I was going for. Now I'm taking a dark brown eyeshadow and I'm applying this to her lower lash line just to further smoke everything out. Then before I forget, I'm going to be going in with another Fit Me pressed powder. This one is in the shade Toffee, and I'm using this to set the remaining areas of her face. I went ahead and picked out her lashes off camera, and I already cut them to fit her eyes. I just went in with a small pair. I made sure they were small but still thick enough to be visible. I didn't want to go in with any that were too long because I want the eyeshadow and the wing to be the main focus of this look. That the lashes are on, I'm gonna have her open her eyes so I can see what it's looking like and to separate any glue, and it's looking good. So now I'm going in with that foundation brush and I'm just using it to press in any powder that I have resting on her face. Now I'm going to go ahead and drown her face in some setting spray, okay, so I can set all this lusciousness in place. Then I'm going to take a pack of eyelashes, I think, and I'm going to use it to fan this spray in place. Now we're just going to proceed to highlighting. So to highlight her face, I'm just taking a champagne colored eyeshadow, and first I'm highlighting the tip and the bridge of her nose using this e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Now I'm going in with this blending brush and I'm just applying it to the high points of her cheeks. Last but not least, it's time to do these lips. So this is the lip combo that I went in with. I'm going to be lining her lips first using this JCats dark brown lip liner, and since I'm doing an ombre lip, I'm going to outline her lips first, and then I'm going to go back in and fill in the corners of her lips using this same pencil. For the center of her lips, I'm going in with this Zerura liquid lipstick, and it's in the shade number 39. And I'm just applying this with a disposable lip wand, and then I'm going to have her press her lips together so it could blend into the liner. Now I'm going in with this lip gloss from OZ Lab or Oz Lab. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I purchased it from the beauty supply store. As you can see, it has like a pink shade to it, so I decided to top it on top of the liquid lipstick, and I'm gonna have her press her lips together so everything could blend in. I went ahead and cleaned up her lips off camera, so this is the finished look, and we're getting into the grand reveal, so I'm gonna let y'all watch. Okay, you ready to see?
Yeah. Oh, I like this. Yeah, I like this. I was expecting.
What were you expecting? Some
you said color, so I'm like.
Okay, queens, that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as follow me on Instagram if you love seeing client looks. And she just so happens to be a photographer, so if you would like to see her work, I will have her social media links in the description box as well. Make sure you stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye, queens.